Welcome to the Sorcery Podcast, your sacred space to delve into spiritual tools, topics, and practices that will illuminate your path of soul remembering and healing. I'm your host, Lígia Costa, a soul guide, alchemist, soul writing coach, and the creator of the Trust Pathway. I'm deeply grateful to have you here with me. Together, we will embark on a profound exploration of self-discovery and healing, unlocking the secrets that lie within. Welcome to another episode of the Sorcery Podcast. I'm your guide, Lígia Costa, and today we are diving deep into the misunderstood concept of surrendering. And what I mean about misconcept of surrendering is because many people associate surrendering with defeat or giving up on their dreams. And so because of this association, they tend to shy away from surrendering. They end up resisting surrendering. But I would like to share a different perspective on this topic, because I find that surrender is not a white flag of resignation, or meaning of quitting or of being defeated, but more like a dance with the flow of life. To me, it represents an invitation to embrace the present moment fully. It is about letting go of these perceived notions and allowing life to unfold in its mysterious ways. Because, as I've been mentioning for the past 2 episodes, life is not linear and life is not perfect. Life is unpredictable. It's mysterious. And when we allow life to unfold in its mysterious ways, we are then able to lean into surrender. When life throws unexpected challenges our way, which will always happen, our instant reaction is to resist. Because when challenges show in our ways, we are faced with the possibility to change. And as human beings, one of our primal needs is the need of safety. And changes normally represent not feeling safe. It means going into the discomfort. It means being forced to get out of our comfort zones of what we already know and we are comfortable with and that we feel safe in, into something unknown, into something that will challenge our skills, our thoughts, our strength, perhaps, our beliefs. And we don't like that. We like to feel in control of our life and our choices, and we like to feel in control when we want change, right? We like to feel we have control on when and how we bring changes into our lives. But because life is unexpected, it will throw these challenges and will push us into making changes. And our reaction is to resist that, is to stomp our feet and say, no, I don't want that. I don't want to make changes. I don't need changes in my life right now. I don't agree with this. And saying no to circumstances that we can't control is a sign of inner resistance. As I said many times, life often mirrors to us what's going inside of us. So when life invites us to embrace opportunities, possibilities, changes, and ways of expanding and growing, and we resist those things, when we say no to those things, we are actually resisting something within us that we don't want to change. Because life is simply projecting the changes that we need to make within us, inside of us, in order to achieve our full potential. But if we resist the external realities and these opportunities that life is presenting to us, we are actually resisting the changes that we don't want to bring within, the transformations that we are not open to bring within ourselves. So that's why surrender is a conscious choice. Life can force us to change, but surrendering to these cycles, surrendering to these opportunities is a conscious choice, is a process that involves breaking free from the resistance that we feel. It's about navigating those moments when we feel this urge to swim against the tide, or that we kind of say to ourselves that we can't be bothered with, and we get into this mentality of, oh, I'm giving up, I can't be bothered with doing this or doing that, because that is resistance talking. That is us not being proactive with our lives and with the opportunities that are being presented to us. Now, it's important to understand that surrender is not a passive acceptance either. It is an active process that empowers us to detach from those situations that are not desirable, and where we are able to stay grounded in our authenticity, even when we are being pushed or forced to face these challenges and these undesirable situations. We stay grounded. We stay true to ourselves. We stay true to our values because we surrender. We are able to detach from this push and pull effect and just surrender. And from this place of surrender, we are able to get clarity that allow us to take inspired actions one step at a time, without rushing, without putting pressure in ourselves. We understand that it's baby steps, that we get to take inspired action one step at a time without running to the finish line. Because the act of surrendering is about being mindful. It's about having this mindful response to life and to its challenges rather than coming from a place of reaction and being impulsive. And yes, there are moments in our lives when circumstances seem beyond our control and that we feel really overwhelmed and in despair. But in these times, deepening our surrender and being present in the moment is even more important and even more transformative, because it gives us the opportunity to turn inward, to reflect on our own reactions, and is an opportunity to open ourselves to the magic really that can arise when we release our need for control and for controlling everything around us. And in these moments that seem out of control, and there are moments where our hearts crack open, that the ground below our feet just disappears, and we feel completely lost and in pain, and we don't even see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore. And those moments can be really heartbreaking. I remember when I lost my dad, that's how I felt. I felt that my heart was broken in pieces and that I lost the ground beneath my feet. I didn't know who I am anymore without a father. I didn't know what to do. I didn't accept the situation, the loss, because of how it happened. And it was a very, very difficult time of my life. And it's just not because it's grief, and grief, it's hard. Grief is unpredictable and it doesn't have a time frame for healing. Grief comes in waves, and sometimes we feel okay with life and that we are carrying on with our lives as usual. And other times it feels too overwhelming and we feel out of breath and our hearts just feel so painful, so tight with pain, and we can't even hold our tears. But it was a deeper journey than that. It wasn't just grief in the sense that I lost a parent. It was grief on a deeper level in the sense that I lost myself. And that's what we normally call as the dark night of the soul. And basically the night dark of the soul is this period in our lives that we go through a profound despair that leads to also a profound transformation. And so we have no other way but to be forced to surrender. In fact, we don't have any willingness to resist or to fight it anymore. It just happens. You just surrender to what is. You just surrender to what you're feeling. You don't even have strength to fight it, to be honest. And after I went through my own dark night of the soul, after I lost my dad, I could see the resemble of this process of darkness with the Japanese art of kintsugi, where these broken pieces of ceramic are repaired with gold. So instead of throwing these pieces away or repairing it in a way that disguises the cracks, they use gold to enhance the cracks, to repair it and to enhance it. And that's where the beauty of this art is in the cracks. And surrender works like the art of kintsugi. It allows us to mend our broken pieces with gold. It allows us to turn suffering into enlightenment and peace. Eventually, that's the alchemy that happens. Eventually, we are able to embrace vulnerability, and this vulnerability becomes a journey of building strength, building resilience, and building our inner growth. And I find it very, very powerful and profound that we eventually are able to transform pain into power and see the beauty in the cracks of our hearts. And one of the things I found around this with the loss of my dad was when I understood that all the grief that I was feeling was actually love that had no place to go. All the pain I was feeling was because all this love that I have for him has no place to go. And it's just overpowering. And it gives me comfort to feel this way. It gives me comfort to understand that I loved him so much. And I still love him so much. And I miss him so much. And all this love has no place to go. And sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it fills my heart so much that it overflows. And I have to release that overflow by crying. But I made peace with that, and I understand that it's just love, and that's to me so meaningful, and it brings me comfort. And so true surrender involves accepting our internal landscape, especially in the face of pain and suffering. It invites us to feel, it invites us to express our emotions and to embrace our emotions without judgment. And that's what I end up doing when I realized that the grief and the pain that I still feel with the loss of my dad, it's valid and it will always be with me. It will always be part of my internal landscape. And perhaps my identity as a daughter without a father, to give love. And so embracing that love that has no place to go at the moment, it's not a bad thing. And I don't judge that anymore because it comes from love. And when we surrender to our emotions, that's when the alchemy of transformation starts to unfold and eventually will bring deep peace amid the storm of emotions that we feel. And another beautiful and meaningful thing that I find about surrendering, and perhaps one of the most profound ways of surrendering, is to surrender to our soul's truth. It's when we embrace our essence and accept who we are wholeheartedly. when we are able to recognize our shadow aspects and love them and nurture them instead of repel them. And when we accept our soul essence wholeheartedly, we are able to let go of any external need for validation that we might need, and let go of that need for approval and that need of proving our worth, because we know that we are worthy, that we were born worthy, that we are worthy of anything, and we don't need to play any roles or pretend to be something else to fit in, because we are worthy already. And so we have the choice to live an authentic life knowing that we are worthy of love, of abundance, of joy, of happiness, of luck, of blessings. We are worthy. And so learning to surrender this way, to surrender to our soul's truth, becomes this very powerful and deep journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. And it creates this pathway to align with our soul's calling. And I believe that surrender is a continuous journey of presence, of acceptance, and alignment with our authentic selves. As I said, it's something that has to be a conscious decision, and so it's a continuous journey. We get to choose to align to it every single day and take inspired action to surrender every time we are being called to surrender. And if you're ready to delve even deeper into this journey of surrender and into this journey of self-discovery, my ebook, Uncover Your True Self, is a valuable companion on this path of surrendering and finding your authentic self. It contains over 150 soul-searching inquiries that follow a pathway of self-discovery for you to journal and to reflect on, to help you uncover your true self. From the moment you were born, by exploring your past, your childhood, and then diving into your present, the identities and roles you play in your present life, and how your beliefs were constructed and how you are living up to them, and perhaps the patterns of thoughts and behaviors that you might find yourself stuck in, and then finishing by exploring your higher self, your true essence, in the sense of your full potential that you haven't reached yet, and that will allow you to align your life with your soul's calling and to surrender to the moment, here and now. And it's only £7.99, and you can grab it on my website www.ligiacosta.co.uk. I will also leave the link on the show notes of this episode. Before I love you and leave you, I will pull a soul inquiry from the Trust Journaling deck, and the card that I pulled is from the Reflection Suite, and the soul inquiry is, what am I worrying about? What am I worrying about? And the affirmation is, I am willing to see the silver lining. And again, I get surprised with how on point these cards are with the energy of our conversations, because we were talking about surrendering and getting stuck into resistance. And with resistance brings the worry that we are not able to make the right decisions, or that we don't have what it takes to face the challenges and move through the challenges. And by reflecting on what we are worrying about, and perhaps adding what worries can I surrender, or what can I surrender now, will allow us to reflect on this. Reflect on what areas of our lives we are being called to surrender and release the need of control by being willing to see the silver lining, to see the lessons, to see the potential for transformation, and bringing the metaphor of that Japanese art of kintsugi into our lives to help us see the beauty in the cracks, to see the silver lining, to see the lessons, to see the transformation that can come from the challenges that have been presented to us. I hope this episode was thought-provoking and that you were able to reflect on the ways that perhaps you need to be surrendering more in your life. And yeah, I wish that your journey be filled with surrender, with transformation, and the golden threads of your authentic self. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Sorcery Podcast and for holding space for this conversation. It is truly magical to be able to walk with you on this journey of soul healing and inner transformation. If you resonated with this episode and found it valuable, I would be grateful if you could leave a review on iTunes. Your feedback helps me reach more souls searching for guidance and healing. For more guidance and soul wisdom to support soul awakening women through the journey of alchemy, please visit my website www.ligiacosta.co.uk. Love and healing to all. See you on the next one.